Alrighty, what's good, everyone joining the stream right now? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me let the Instagram know that we are live. What's up, everyone joining in the stream? How's everybody doing? We're gonna start getting some debates up here in a quick second. Let me get everything set up here on the stream. Let me let everyone know we are live. We are going to be doing sort of a split live today, actually. I was gonna go live for like 2 hours or so. Dean's gonna hop on, and then I'm gonna hop on and do the rest of my stream. We had a little bit of a scheduling scheduling overlap today, so we decided to do that. What's up, everyone joining in? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Krista? What's up, Jenny? What's up, Emma? What's up, the snack in Shack? How you doing? What's up, Sammy? What's up, Agent? What's up, Alien Cat? What's up, Marty? How you doing? What's up, Edgemaster? Whoa, that diabolical name. What's what's up, Courtney? What's up, Alexandra? What's up, everyone joining in? What's up, Lola? What's up, Keonan? Good to see you as always. What's up? What's up? What's up, Christine? What's up, Rebecca? What's up, Kendrick? What's up, CNT? What's up, W1? What's up, Kendrick? Well, today, everyone, last night, everyone, Donald Trump posted a picture to his True Social saying he's made America more affordable, actually, everybody. And he posted a lot of things that were just like utterly false on it. And it was really, really funny to go over in my thumbnail for today on YouTube because I went and did all the numbers, went on the Bureau of Labor Statistic and put it there. And he said fresh berries were down 13% when fruits and veggies, according to the literal Bureau of Labor Statistics, is up 6.1%, which is more than the average. The average for all items is 3.8%. Okay, 6.1% for fruits and veggies. Not to mention, by the way, 4.2% for apparel, 3.2% for food, 17.9% for energy, 6.1% for electricity, and then 28.4% for gas, okay? And he completely left all of that out. He brought up like avocados down 19%, butter down 13%, oatmeal down 4.8%, eggs down 90% because there was literally bird flu, by the way. Cheese down 5.6%, olive oil down 16%, and grapes down 3%, which, by the way, I don't know where he even got these numbers from. Like, it's actually like an interesting thing that, like, I mean, his numbers are sourced right below are definitely really, really interesting. And it's hard to find. But, I mean, if you look at overall food, it's higher. If you look at overall fruits and veggies, it's significantly higher. And if you look at any of the things that are underlining of all of them, you see that prices are significantly worse off. So I don't know. I don't know how he can claim America more affordable, actually. It's pretty delusional. Pretty delusional. And I think the average American's going to disagree with that. That's just like actually crazy. We're going to start getting people up here for debates, everyone. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates as always. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Oh, okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. If you are a Trump supporter above the age of 18, if you send a guest request, you'll likely get a debate right now. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Parker, play farm sim.
Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Oh, I've debated you before. Especially recently.
We are
Okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay. Okay. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
The foundation of everything. Yeah. And then now.
Okay. Alrighty. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. It will be an interesting start to the day. We got fetus after fetus after fetus right now. So do just give it a quick second, everyone. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Sorry to everyone in the chat, beware headphone users, and I'm sorry to all the dogs, okay, and all the pets that had to hear that. Yo, how old are you?
Howdy.
Okay, let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. What day is it today? It's Thursday? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, what's up, dude? Yo, I'm 18.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
And if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. And what's your
Parker
birth year?
boy, I love you, Parker boy, Parker boy, Parker boy, Parker.
Okay, so just go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everyone. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everyone. Alrighty. Only send a guest request again if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18, everyone. It might take us a second to get some people up here. Good morning, everyone. We're going to be on live again. It's a split live today. I'll be on live for like 1.5, 2 hours right now. And then we will be live for like 3 hours later after Dean's live. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Hi.
Okay, another fetus. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter by the age of 18, everybody. We are just looking for debates.
Play
Yo, what's up?
Warzone.
Okay, let's go to the next individual, everybody. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18, everyone. Yo, what's up, how old are you? Okay, we're getting every fetus on TikTok is joining my stream right now. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
I'm 18.
And do you support Trump?
I'd say I do.
Okay, if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
I'd say Trump.
Okay, and what's your birth year?
2008.
And what month?
December.
2008 December, you'd be 17, bruh. Nice math. Yo, what's up, how old are you? Okay, let's go to the next. Oh, okay. Do give it a second, everyone. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Good morning, though, everyone. Yo, what's up, how old are you? Literally every single fetus in the entirety of TikTok's existence is joining the stream right now. Okay, now we're getting music. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18.
You're so
Yep.
cute, Parker.
Okay, well, do give it a second, everyone. We are just looking for debates. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
We love you, Parker.
Dude, literally every possible fetus on the live stream is joining right now. What is going on, bro? Is this a Discord of fetuses, bro? That are, like, collaborating to be able to get on my stream? Like, what's going on today? Yo, dude, what's going on? Yo, what's up, how old are you?
I'll give you a break from the fetuses, dude.
Thank you. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, are you driving?
Hell yeah.
Are you driving, sir?
No. Who would do something that wild?
Is there a way you can turn me off the Bluetooth or maybe get closer to your microphone? It's a little hard to hear you.
Yeah, so go ahead and ask me a question or whatever, and I'll answer you.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Because he's the president of the United States of America.
Did you support Biden when he was president?
I 100% did. I am a veteran, and I believe in country over everything. Presidents come and go, but our country will be here for our offspring.
Okay, and like, how does Trump leave a better society for the future, comparative to the Democrats?
Oh, he's the president of the United States. I'm sure he's doing some good things and he's doing some bad things. It's objective to everyone who's supporting him or not, whether or not he's doing a good job. But like I said, in a few years he'll be gone and you'll forget all about him.
But sir, you said you would vote for Trump over Harris, for example. So that means you prefer his administration, correct?
Yeah, I think that Trump was ready to be president. I don't think Kamala was ready to be president yet.
And what makes you think that?
Because Trump had been president before and Kamala had never served anything at vice presidency. And under Joe Biden, she said that she wouldn't really change anything that he was doing in a very unpopular Democrat group. The Democrats are, and if you didn't see anything that Trump dragged them back.
You're cutting out, it seems.
She's still beating the. Sorry, I live on Cape Cod.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
She appeals to the weirdos, man. Yeah, sorry.
And what do you mean appeals to the weirdos? That literally just makes no sense. You mean people advocating for a better world?
Yeah,
That
the
want
far
expanded
left,
access to healthcare,
no,
childcare,
they're not,
housing affordability, basic
no,
necessities for people in
all
need?
utopia.
This is not utopia. This is just like
Yeah, that's all
literally
utopia.
ensuring the
It is
basic
utopia.
necessities are met in our population. We're the richest country in the history of the world, and you're telling me that we can't afford that? When countries around the
Yeah, I live
world
in
less rich than us
Massachusetts. We're a very
do?
rich blue state. We're a very rich blue state in Massachusetts, and we have tons of homelessness and drug use and all kinds of other problems. Democrats don't fix it. If anything, they perpetuate it. They like let it go on so they can make money off of it. And I'm not joking because I live here. I see it. When people down Cape Cod that have tons of money say anything about like immigrants leaving, they're upset they're leaving. They're losing their free lawn care or their reduced cost lawn care or nail salon girl. That's what they really care about. It's not that they care about them as a person. It's about what kind of stuff they can get from these people. Look at Martha's Vineyard, for example. That happened. It's right in my backyard. Obama didn't open his doors to any of those people. They put them on a plane and sent them back, right? The richest, whitest, most liberal women
Do you
in the
understand
whole
that
country.
just
took
because people
17
come into the
immigrants,
country
put them
doesn't
on
mean
an
they can
airplane,
go into your
and sent
house? Like, I'm sorry, you have to be reasonable here, okay? Just because someone is advocating for more immigration into a country does not mean that they want people to go into their house. In the same way that I don't advocate for border restrictions between Nevada and
Right, but they
California,
won't have it in their
please be quiet and
backyard.
listen. I don't advocate for border restrictions between Nevada and California, but that does not mean people from Nevada can just come and walk into my house, okay? You have got to use your brain and think about what you're saying, okay? Now, you're saying Democrats, oh, they don't fix all of these problems. They're not able to address every single problem that's ever existed. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're a preferable option to the Republicans. They have better solutions than the Republicans do. The Republicans are the ones that are creating these problems to a greater extent. If you look at Republican areas, are they doing better economically speaking than the Democratic areas? Tell me that.
Are Republican areas doing better than Democrat areas?
Yeah, economically. Are they doing better?
I mean, that's a hard. It's a gotcha. It's a hard metric to like look at. Like, by what metric would you measure doing better?
Maybe you could look at GDP growth, wage growth, employment, job growth. You could look at those sort of aspects of the economy. Maybe those things are relevant because I say that Democrats are actively advocating to perpetuate conditions where that's going to be better off for the people. There's going to be job programs. There's going to be education programs, which are going to increase our productivity, increase GDP. We also advocate to expand legal pathways of immigration, which are very beneficial to reducing deficits within our country.
We have all that stuff already.
You said we have all the stuff. I don't think to the extent that I would say that is good. Plus, all countries around the
so
world, they have better systems.
Like you want more. Let me ask you a question real quick. If you looked at your neighbor's house and he had a really big house and a really nice car and a really big boat, and you knew that he couldn't afford it, but he had
are
those
you in a
things,
car
would you
that's
consider him
driving, or
smart?
are you driving, sir?
Listen, if you looked across the street at your
No, I
neighbor's
need you to
house
respond to
and-
that, or I'll just kick you. I'll assume if you don't respond directly to my statement that you're the one driving.
I'm not driving.
Okay, so can the person
No,
who's driving say hi?
Let's stop worrying about what's driving.
It's TikTok TOS, sir. Okay. If you don't have a person who is driving the vehicle, say hi real quick. I will kick you from the stream.
Literally on a public bus, bro. I'm literally on a public bus.
Turn your
Right?
camera on.
So. Are we gonna have a debate, or are you?
You're a public
gonna
bus
get
where
caught
no
up in
one else
semantics?
is speaking.
Bro, are you gonna get caught up in
Turn your
semantics? I have a
camera
great
on.
microphone.
Turn your camera on.
No.
I just think you're lying. A public bus? Turn your camera on.
You're really not here. You're really not here to have a conversation.
Okay, so I can literally.
Go have fun
Okay,
with the
I'm gonna
penises.
kick you.
I'm gonna send you.
You're not on a public bus. You're driving. You can come on when you're not driving. Okay? Yeah, also, yeah, public bus with Bluetooth. Forgot that one too. Yeah, he was connected to the Bluetooth on a public bus. Yeah. But he's not driving. Let's just clarify. Anyway, by the way, using a social program, a public bus, using a social program, socially funded, by the way. Probably funded by. He's living in Massachusetts, and he's literally benefiting off of the public transportation system. Interesting. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Trump?
What?
Do you support
Yeah.
Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2007.
What month?
April.
I don't know. They
Right.
sound young. I'm gonna go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Everybody, only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay. I don't know why people are just doing that to join up and play music. That's weird. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are
Shut it,
you?
you fucking walloper. When they say like,
Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Everybody. Alrighty, let's go to the next person. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter, again, above the age of 18. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, everyone. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Yo, what's
shut
up?
up,
How
you
old are
wee
you?
bastard. Shut up, you wee bastard.
Okay. Bro's just angry for some reason. Let's go to the next person. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Okay. Let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request again if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Can like hear it playing off of a phone. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, what's up, dude? I'm 18.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
2008. I'm sorry, I have a sore throat. Yeah, 2008.
Okay. And if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
What's your birth month?
March.
Okay. And what state do you live in?
I live in Texas, Dallas to be, more specific.
Oh, okay. All right. Why do you support Trump?
To be honest, I'm from a MAGA family, and all of them support him. And yeah, that's my main reason, to be honest.
You said your main reason was just your family is Trump supporters?
Yeah.
Okay, but like, why do you support Trump?
Well, they've been telling me that they're closing down the borders, and also something about the big, beautiful or great bill. I don't really know.
Okay.
So if you would explain to me, that would be really good, because I've been starting to look at your debates, and I've seen you destroy these MAGA people. So yeah.
Okay. So the big beautiful bill, most of the tax cuts go to the rich and wealthy. Kamala Harris wanted to keep all the tax cuts applicable to income earners under $400,000 a year, and only wanted to increase tax on income over $400,000 a year. And then also cuts over 10 million people off their health insurance, 2.5 million people off their access to food stamps on average every single month, and over 420,000 kids off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month.
So I don't get it. Why would people support that? What?
Because they want tax cuts for the rich and wealthy.
Oh, so it's beneficial for the rich and wealthy, but
Yeah,
not for
but not for the
like an
average American, because
Wasn't
Kamala
MAGA
Harris would
wasn't
support all the tax cuts applicable to income earners under $40,000 a year and would retain that regardless.
wasn't MAGA about like supporting the average American? What?
Yeah, they said they want to make it more affordable, and things are more expensive because of Trump, because of the war with Iran and his tariff policy. Year-over-year inflation right now is 3.8%, up from when Biden left office. We can see things such as like apparel at 4.2%. We can see things such as energy at 17.9%. We can see fuel 54.3%, gasoline 28.4%, electricity 6.1%. We can see food is over 3%, 3.2%. Fruits and vegetables 6.1%. Non-alcoholic beverages and beverage materials 5.1%.
Doesn't it depend on the state if the food goes up or down? That's what I heard anyway. So, or is it overall in the country?
Well, I'm saying it's due to the policies of the war with Iran and because of Donald Trump's tariff policy. Both of those are heavily inflationary, and that's what's led to all of these prices going up.
I have family in the Middle East. They live in Kuwait, I think. Am I saying it correctly? Kuwait or something?
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that the prices also affected them over there. And that's really cheap.
Globally, prices have gone up because Trump imposed a war with Iran that led to the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, which impacts global supply chains of oil, therefore increasing energy prices all around the world. So Trump
By
is
the way, if
actually the
people,
cause of the inflation.
yeah, if people don't believe, I live in Dallas. It's 11:30 right now, so
Oh, it's
I don't
okay.
know what
I
the
believe
time
you.
is. Yeah. Yo, thank you, dude. Yeah, have a nice day.
Oh, you as well. Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Alrighty, let's get this next person up here. Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
We are Parker.
Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up? How old are
Hi,
you?
Parker. How are you doing?
Good. Do you support Trump? I can't hear you. You swiped out of the app.
Yes, sir.
You do? Oh, how old are you?
23.
Okay. And what's your birth year?
August 9th, 2002.
Okay. And if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Kamala Harris or Trump?
Kamala Harris or Trump? Yeah.
Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
I don't know. I was raised that way, so most of my family is Republicans, of course.
Okay. So, but like, why do you think that?
I don't know. I guess I would think he's a better option than Biden.
Okay. Why do you think that he's a better option than the Democrats?
Because he's not some liberal sissy soy boy.
Okay. And how do you identify that?
I don't know, because he's just, the embodiment of a real man. It's just, Biden was always running around looking for ice cream and stuff and just making our country look bad. I want a president like JFK that makes us look good.
You think Trump makes us look good?
Not
Is it when he's
always,
saying
but-
that we should look into disinfectant by injection to fight COVID-19? Or like when he's saying that, he drinks Diet Coke because it kills grass, meaning therefore he thinks it kills cancer?
No, that's a good point.
Or like looking up at an eclipse twice with his bare eyes, or saying that Jesus, if he was the vote counter in California, he would have won the vote against Joe Biden? Or getting 70% of his own party to believe the election was stolen with no evidence?
Yeah, no, I don't know about that.
Uh-huh.
Why are they saying drop me? What did I say wrong?
Because it sounds like you're trolling.
Fuck all liberal niggers. Get these
You're
Mexican
disgusting.
niggers out.
You're disgusting. So everyone was right. You're disgusting. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Bro, Israel's the best country ever. I fucking love Israel.
That's the blinker person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. They're trolling. So let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everybody. Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
What?
What's your birth year?
Oh, I just turned 18. May 26, 2008.
Okay, if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Trump?
Okay. And why do you support Trump?
Because he's like better and not retarded.
Okay.
Sorry for
Uses a slur right away. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay, only send a guest request again if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Alrighty, everyone. Look at it. MAGA's dead, everybody. They're not even willing to debate me. Not even willing to debate me. They're too scared. Honestly. They're really, really scared to debate me. What can I say? Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates.
Yo.
Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
2007, November 14th.
Okay. And if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
I would go for Trump.
Okay, so is there an area you can go to with a little less background noise?
Nah. I'm at work right now.
Okay. Alrighty. Why do you support Trump?
Because I think he's gonna accelerate the communist revolution.
Okay, they're definitely trolling. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go on the next individual. Only send literally, chat, the only person in my box right now that's a Trump supporter, like actually, that I can identify, is literally Jill. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just keep trying the abyss. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, I'm not from the UK. I'm from the UK though.
Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
2007. Actually, I just turned 19. May 12th, 2007.
Okay, if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
I'd take Trump.
Okay, so we can get a little closer to your microphone.
Yeah, sorry. I'd take Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
I really believe in a lot of the bills he is passing through. Maybe not creating more wealth gap, but if we can kind of keep people that make their own money and become rich in the world, why can't they keep that to themselves? Why do they have to be taxed on a higher bracket?
Oh, well, why do we have to have a progressive income tax structure? Because I would rather that higher income people pay than lower income people pay if we need these services for society.
Yeah, but why can't we have that like split bracket so everybody is taxed equally and the exact same when they're coming into the world? Because if you have somebody that goes out, starts a business and makes $250,000 a year, they should be taxed the exact same as a person that's making $4 million a year. There should be no gap in between taxing the wealthy higher than taxing the lower bracket less.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think someone making $10,000 a year should pay the exact same tax rate as someone making $100 million a year?
I mean, it really depends. Yeah, they probably should, because that's how the government is set up at this point.
Wait, but do you realize that would be absurd, right? That would be absurd because the cost of living would make it so that they can't afford to live, right? Even more than they can now. So like if you force them to pay, say, a 10% tax rate, you're saying they have to give up $1,000 of their $10,000 income a year. They're left with $9,000 to be able to afford everything in their life. Okay, so essentially what I'm saying is that there's already a regressive negative impact in terms of cost of living as a proportion of someone's income who's lower income. So we need a progressive tax structure to account for the fact that there's a regressive negative impact by cost of living. Otherwise, you're going to cause it to be even less affordable for working class people in this country. Because inevitably, you're going to have to cut social services because you won't have the high enough level of tax rate in order to be able to fund social services.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. At least I'm not here to like bicker and banter. I love a good debate. So can I kind of get your views on like food stamps and more stuff on that side to help out the lower grossing people of our country?
Well, I mean, I believe that we should have extended the food stamps that we had prior. Like, I don't think Trump's cuts to it are good. I think that food stamps really mostly benefit children, right? And are feeding children in most instances, especially the 420,000 kids that are cut off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month through the Big Beautiful Bill, right? those are the children that should be benefiting from these food programs, and they should be able to get access to food. I believe food is a necessity for everyone. No one should go without food. No one should be food insecure within this country in the history, or in the richest country in the history of the world. Right? I see no reason for that. I think that's atrocious.
Yeah, 100%. Nobody should be deprived of food throughout their life. But when you have the food stamps going to the parents and the family, and then they go out and buy all these like fat richening foods that are going to keep growing the national obesity levels, why does that happen? Like, they shouldn't be going out and buying all these fat filling foods. They should be going out and buying chicken breast, rice, stuff that's healthy for their kids to be able to eat.
Yeah, the way to incentivize that is not by legally enforcing it and saying you're going to have restricted access to all these specific foods, but rather to create a culture in society where people eat healthier to a greater extent.
Which, how has that gone in the past? Because it seems like it is not working with
Well, I mean, those are things that
in the United States.
Prior administrations tried to do, and they were rolled back by the Republicans.
Can you
how
give me
about
an
subsidize
example
healthy
of one?
foods? Subsidize healthier foods.
What do you mean by subsidize? Like, how do you get people to buy
Like,
more healthier
literally
foods?
have the government subsidize it, pay for a portion of it to make it cheaper than other sorts of less healthy foods.
I mean, they have. That's what food stamps are. They're for nutrients and to get people food. They're not to go out and buy alcohol and all these fat-filling foods that are full of GMOs.
I don't think you can buy alcohol with food stamps.
Last time I saw a video, I saw somebody buying alcohol on food stamps. So
I mean, that might be in specific states, but I haven't seen that. But I do think that people should be able to get food that isn't like the most healthy food possible in all scenarios. Like, yeah, people who are on food stamps still deserve to have a fucking donut. They still deserve to have snacks. They still deserve to have things that I think everyone should have access to.
But when I see the videos all over the social media and the news that people are going out and buying $400 worth of food stamps money that goes to straight just junk food, 4 boxes.
Well, that's really a criticism of how they're buying groceries, which would be true regardless of whether or not they're getting food stamps. So that's for specific individuals, right? If they're on the internet, I would argue that's probably more like to be provocative and to get attention. Right, is to post a video where you're specifically getting things like that so that you can get attention. That sounds like probably the better explanation. I don't think the typical person's just buying snacks only on food stamps. Okay, now there could be some circumstances, but I just don't see that to be a prevalent thing. I think most people are buying things that they need. And you shouldn't say because there's 1 or 2 people out there that are getting stuff that I don't think that they should get, that I'm going to restrict access to these things for every single person who was using it in a healthy way, right?
Yeah. Okay. Kind of basing off of that, how would you go about lowering our obesity rate within the United States and overall maybe the world?
Well, I mean, I would like to be able to address that, but that we address that from a societal standpoint, not through forcing or through stigmatization of people, but through allowing people to have access to things that are healthier by creating a different culture in our society, specifically by creating more walkable cities, by getting people in community spaces to a greater extent. Like those are things like that we can actually advocate for, we can push towards, that would make sense. Also, like universal health access to healthcare, right? You understand other countries around the world, they have better average health outcomes than us, and they spend nearly half as much per individual as what we spend here in this country.
Yeah, and then but you go up into Canada and they have free healthcare for everybody in the country up in Canada, and all their house prices are like $400K upwards, which obviously the United States is similar.
Are you saying healthcare causes universal access to healthcare causes housing prices to go up?
Yes, it does, because then it also includes with their taxes, and their tax brackets are even higher.
Wait, so how does providing universal access to healthcare increase housing costs?
And it raises every price of everything. Food goes up because all taxes are going to be paying for that, so they're going to be taxing more than what non-universal healthcare
prices are going to go up. So just think about it this way: all the money that you currently put into the private healthcare model right now, we're going to take a portion of that and pay for a system that takes care of everyone. That's literally it. We're taking out the middleman between you and your doctor that is profiting unnecessarily off of you getting access to healthcare.
I agree with that.
And it will increase the preventative access to healthcare within our country, which in the long term will reduce healthcare costs, because healthcare costs are higher when we address conditions later, right? Because people didn't want to go get tested or addressed earlier, right? In terms of like going and getting like a typical checkup or test up, because it's costly.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. They are profiting way too much, and all these nonprofit hospital organizations that claim they're nonprofit really aren't nonprofit on that kind of front. But so, kind of going on a different route from that. What are your stances on the war in Iran and everything over there that's going on?
Yeah, so I think that the Trump starting the war with Iran is bad. I do think that they could have been prevented from getting a nuclear weapon under the JCPOA, what we did about 10 years ago, to a greater extent. So I think that Donald Trump has got them closer to a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, I see.
And
where
he's
you're
also
coming from
caused
on that.
gas prices to go up and grocery prices and inflation to go up.
Yeah, but when he closed the Strait of Hormuz, it became. Did you see all the? It was like, I can't even remember the exact number, but how many tanker ships came into the Gulf of America to get loaded with gas out of Venezuela and America to go back over. And that's gonna hopefully, and then he reopened the Strait of Hormuz, so it's gonna even lower our prices of gas lower.
The Strait of Hormuz is not open. And you said that they were going to the Gulf of Mexico. That would actually be increasing our prices here at home, because that means oil producers here in this country are sending their oil to other countries around the world.
The Strait of Hormuz actually has been open for the past couple weeks.
No, it hasn't.
Every news channel has reported that it has been open for the past couple weeks.
Wrong.
Where are you getting your sources from that say it isn't open?
Okay, give me a single source that says that it's open. I'm serious. I'm waiting. You won't find a single one that actually indicates that it's open. Where do I get my information from? Directly from both the U.S. government and Iran telling us that they haven't come to terms on opening the Strait of Hormuz. So I'm getting it directly from the people who are negotiating.
I apologize. I was mistaken on that. It is not fully open. It is partially open, though. That is my fault from misunderstanding.
Is it? And how many ships are going through?
I couldn't tell you that. I haven't been studying that much on it because I just don't want to even worry about the war over there.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think it was all Trump that put us into that war, or do you think it was partially Israel kind of pulling us into the war with us?
Well, that would still be fully Trump and fully Israel.
It wouldn't be technically fully Trump, because if we are supporting Israel, and Israel goes
Trump
out
is
and
Trump is
bombs
deciding to
Iran.
do this on behalf of Israel and to prevent people from talking about the Epstein files.
How does that make sense? The Epstein files had been out for months. How does that kind of draw attention away from talking about the Epstein files?
Yeah, significantly less people are talking about the Epstein files because of the fact that we're talking about the Iran war and things that are happening in current events. So yes, it is actively something that was very effective at mitigating the amount of people within society that are talking about the Epstein files. That's just a fact.
I haven't really seen anything about that from people that I have heard. They're still talking about the Epstein files, but the war should just not be going on.
I can tell you, as someone who talks to people on a daily basis, I can see how the conversations have changed, right?
Oh, for sure. I'm not saying they
Between,
haven't changed.
then versus now.
Yeah.
Like, I do this for a living, so I'm constantly around what people are talking about. I do see a significant difference, right, in the level of people talking about the Epstein files then versus now.
Yeah, for sure. I completely see that. All right. Well, thank you for the great debate today. I gotta get going.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Marcia, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Marcia. I appreciate it. Thank you. John, thank you so much for the 20 membership subscription. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Get some W's for John in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That is incredibly kind of you. As well as Marina, thank you so much for the $2. Yeah, absolutely diabolical, right? Jada, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, there's so many people that would have without it. It's absolutely insane that people don't even that advocate. Like, it's totally okay to cut it. It's crazy to me. Peter, thank you for the $25. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you. I know, right? Like let someone buy something nice who has food stamps as well. Like, you don't have to completely make it so that they only can buy the most healthy possible thing. Fields, how old are you?
Yo, Parker, am I allowed to spread awareness about something real quickly?
Do you support Trump?
No, but I just
Okay.
wanted to say.
Well, I am sorry. I am just looking for debates. I'm going to be totally honest with you. There's a million other people that want to spread awareness about things, and if I let people up, I'm going to have constant people who are going to be coming up to do that, and I have to establish boundaries against that. I do apologize. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yeah, how old are you?
19.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
I'd vote for Trump.
And what's your birth year?
2007.
In what month?
March.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Well, I'd say I support Trump the most because he most fits my political ideology.
Okay, in what ways?
Well, as a neo-libertarian philanthropist myself,
I knew that was gonna come. I immediately, when I heard political ideology, immediately I was like, oh, I know exactly what he's gonna say, but I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Eli, thank you so much for the $10. I actually did see this. This is something I wanted to report upon. Thank you so much for reminding me to report on this. Literally, the DOJ is fucking criminally investigating E. Jean Carroll for literally committing. Well, they're trying to look for evidence of her committing perjury. So there isn't evidence of it. They're just trying to investigate it to look for this, which there is no fucking evidence of this. That is such a bullshit fucking claim. Bleep Blorb, thank you for the galaxy. It's fucking insane. It's just them literally trying to punish E. Jean Carroll for holding Donald Trump accountable. Honestly, this needs to be talked about more. I'm going to bring this up. That's fucking disgusting that Donald Trump is using the position of power that he's in order to literally go after victims that have held him accountable in a fucking civil court. And this is why you don't vote a rapist into the Oval Office. Again, they use the Oval Office to be able to do that. It is literally harassment, but won't be defined that way because he's literally the president. It is absolutely harassment. He is literally using the highest position of power in the world in order to be able to harass a victim that he literally perpetuated sexual violence against. It's fucking insane, dude. Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm a neo-libertarian.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Parker, what's up, man? How are you?
Do you support Trump?
Why'd you ban Justin?
Justin?
Yeah, you know me.
The guy that crashes out?
Yeah, you know me. Me, Scotty, Justin, we're back.
You Scotty? Are you Scotty? No, you're not Scotty.
No, I'm KL.
Okay, am I supposed to remember you?
Yes.
Okay, when's the last time you were on my live?
Like 5 days ago. It was 3 of us in the...
Oh. Why did Justin get banned? Probably by a mod, but that's very possible it was me. And I don't care. Honestly, he's just a waste of time to talk to, so I honestly don't care that he was banned, and I'm honestly happy. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everyone. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Mary, thank you so much for the first. Think of the drum roll. Thank you. Mr. Flinch, thank you so much for pushing the $5. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Let's get on the next individual again. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, how old are you? How old are you? Okay. Let's go on to the next individual, everybody. We're really struggling to get debates up here today. Honestly, this is a pretty bad one. Just letting everyone know, today's a split live, so I'm going to be doing like half of my live here in the morning, and then Dean's going to hop on here like at 11, so literally here in like an hour, and then I'll do the rest of my live like later on after he's done with his. It'll be starting at like 3 o'clock my time, so around 3 to 6, and then I have to get off at 6, for sure. So just letting everyone know. We still do have full time for live, just it's a little bit split up today.
Hello?
Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you?
18.
You said how old?
18.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
And what's your birth year?
2002.
Nice math. Alrighty, everybody. We're really struggling to get some debates up here. This is a bit brutal. You also live on YouTube? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. For the people on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, everyone. I'd really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate it. Plus, also, everyone, I posted a video on my YouTube of me debating someone on, like, the new... There's, like, this new Omegle thing where I was, like, debating people on to try to get clips. Because which I can't do on stream, because then people can, like, show their camera and do crazy stuff, and I can get banned. So I can only do that, like, record it off live and then post it. But the good thing about it is that, like, you can see the person I'm debating. So if you want to go check that out, there's a video on YouTube of that I just posted last night as well. Let's get on to this next individual. Only do send a guest request. Again, if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18, we are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Good morning.
Do you support Trump?
59. Sure.
Okay. And if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
Because I believe in you, Parker. Someone that is willing to go up on TikTok, defend all of this stuff. Okay. All because you understand where a person's problem comes from, right? So why wouldn't I support Trump? If I want Trump defeated, why wouldn't I support you? Why would I support Trump?
So you don't support Trump. You support me?
Right. By supporting Trump.
I don't know how that makes any sense. Let's go on to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, how old are you?
22.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah, what?
Okay, what's your birth year?
Sorry. What do you say, boy?
What's your birth year?
What do you say? 2003.
Okay, and if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Because I like what he's doing in Minnesota.
Such as?
Deportation.
I'm just not going to take that seriously. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Today's a bit brutal for getting debates, everyone.
Boston monkeys.
Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay. Let's go on the next individual. Again, only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2008.
And what month?
May.
Okay. And if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
Just because what he's doing with the economy, or what he promised to do. I'm hoping that he actually follows through in doing that. And I feel like he's not allowing America to get walked on as much as Biden did.
Okay. So, can you name one metric of the economy that's better off since Trump got in office?
No, I'm not saying he has done it yet, but he only has been in the office for a short period of time. But the stuff he has said he's done, said he will do. I'm hoping that actually does happen, and if that does happen, he'll be a great president.
Like reduce grocery prices or electricity prices by 50% within a year?
Yeah.
Did that happen?
No.
Okay. Like repeal and replace the ACA? Did that happen?
What
about
mean?
building the wall and making Mexico pay for it? What about releasing the Epstein files?
He has done that.
No, they have like 3 million files they haven't released, and they haven't abided by the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Well, maybe what about no new wars?
So not allowing America to get walked on.
That didn't work. What about drain the swamp?
That would, at least America's not getting walked on. Everyone's scared of America again.
End the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours. Shit. He didn't do that one either. You can make gas prices go down? Fuck. Not that too. Maybe he's gonna make us closer to our allies, right? Oh shit! He destabilized our relationships with our allies in Europe and with Canada because he threatened to annex his allies. Shit. What did he do? What can we do? Like that he said he was gonna do. What did he do? Like tax cuts for the rich? Higher corporate profits? Maybe that one. That's about all I could think about. What has he done for you though? Like how has your life benefited? He said America's great already. How has your life benefited?
America's great.
How has your life benefited?
The country I live in is good. I don't have to worry about getting invaded.
You didn't have to worry about that either way. You think the country would be invaded if Democrats were in office?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Well, Biden.
What makes you think the country would be invaded if Biden were in office?
He can't even ride a bike.
Was our country invaded? Was our country invaded in? And by the way, actually, first, do you have any evidence of Trump riding a bike?
I know.
I'm not even sure he could go out and do it. So like, let's be frank here. At least Biden was doing it. Like, do you have any evidence of Trump exercising at all?
He passed the president physical test. So yeah.
No, not physical test. You mean cognitive test?
Sure.
So he's been forced to take a cognitive test, which, by the way, the questions are like, do you know the difference between like a fucking rhino and a giraffe? Okay.
Do you?
The fact that he was ordered to take those tests shows that he was in a state where people are questioning his cognitive health.
Do you know the difference between a rhino and a giraffe?
Yes, I do.
Explain it.
You need me to do you know the difference between a rhino and a giraffe?
Yeah.
Okay, why are you asking me to explain it then? Do you think I don't?
Think you do.
Giraffe has a long neck. Rhino doesn't have a long neck. Rhino has a horn on the top of its head. Rhino really large. Rhino really big.
So was a giraffe. So you don't know the difference.
Wait, do you understand the difference between like long neck, large and skinny, versus like it's gordito?
Yeah, but you just said large.
Yeah, because I was just trying to explain it, and I think that explains it.
Not really.
Come on, come on. I just explained it. Can you
Yeah,
tell me the
not-
difference?
Yeah. One's tall and skinny, and one's shorter and fatter, or girthier.
Yeah, that's what that means. I already explained that.
And
Large,
one's
large.
gray, and then one's yellow with dots.
Okay. Oof. Good
Oh,
job.
thank you. Oh,
Good
you
job.
don't
By
have
the
to.
way,
You don't-
all you have to do is identify which one is the rhino and which one's the giraffe. That's all you have to identify.
Oh, word. Well, I think I just passed that one.
Yeah, you would. I promise you, you probably would pass that
Oh, thank you.
because it's a really basic exam. Okay.
You think you would?
Yes.
What was
I honestly
your?
think I think 99% of the people in the chat would pass it. It's meant for that.
What was your GPA in high school?
Why are you asking me this? What was your GPA?
LeBron James.
Okay. All right. Is you just trolling?
No.
No. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18, everyone. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's how old are you?
I'm 21.
Do you support Trump?
I voted for him, and I would now over Harris, but I don't have like crazy support for him.
Well, the notion of support I'm using is that you'd vote for him over Harris. So I have a few people to thank, then we can
Yeah,
move on to our
yeah.
conversation. Just give me a quick second. Serpent, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. Honestly, if they were shown, I doubt they would be able to. You're right. Memento, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It is literally at the bottom of the barrel. You're totally right there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Jocelyn, thank you so much for the $5. A little bit of a rough morning. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Jaden, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't worry. I appreciate you being here. Just appreciate it. Thank you very much. Fussy, thank you so much for the $7. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you. You know, that is honestly very true. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Kaya, thank you so much for the $1. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's actually really funny. Mary, thank you so much for the $2. And Marcia, thank you for the $3. Alrighty, why do you support Trump?
Pretty much basically only for pro-life.
Okay. And why are you pro-life?
Because kind of like the future person argument or future life.
Future like ours?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So then do you think that it's murder in some instances to use an IUD because not only can it prevent the fertilization of an egg, it can also prevent the implantation of a fertilized egg?
I don't think it's murder because like the information that those people have is usually lacking.
So if they know,
I also like abortion, a lot of people don't think abortion is murder, and like so if you're researching it, you don't have a clear answer, so no one's ever gonna have a clear answer.
Do you think abortion is murder?
I do.
You do. Okay, so what's the relevant difference between abortion and between an IUD preventing a fertilized egg from implanting into the uterine wall? That means in one scenario you think it's wrong, and in the other scenario you don't think it's wrong. Because in both scenarios, there is the future like ours.
I understand what you're saying. I do think it's wrong in both instances, but I'm saying the information that people have around it can be foggy, so I wouldn't say it's murder for them to do it. Does that make
Couldn't
sense?
you do the same thing for abortion? That some people
Yes.
don't think abortion is murder, so
Yeah,
so then it's
I
not
agree.
murder if they don't think it's murder. Interesting.
I think it's murder, but I'm
But
saying
you think it's not
since
murder if
there's so
they
much-
think it's not murder.
Since there's so much information around it where no one can get a right answer, how can they know So then it would be more like manslaughter. Does that make sense?
It'd be more like manslaughter? Okay, so do you think that they should have criminal charges for that?
No.
Okay, but manslaughter yields criminal charges, doesn't it?
Yes.
So then, should it have the same charges as manslaughter or no?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so then why do you value it differently? It sounds like you don't value this future like ours. It seems like there needs to be like a subjective experience present and then a future, right? For you to then say that you value the future like ours in the same way.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, you need to have an established subjective and experience, at least in the past or present, for the future like ours argument to actually maintain.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's not valuable as just a cellular organism, right? The zygote, do you really care about it?
I do because it has a future.
Okay, you know you don't. You don't care about a zygote, do you? Okay, let me watch this. How about this? If we were to compare, in terms of value, two zygotes like that you know, for example, have a future, versus one newborn baby, and you're in a burning building, and either the two zygotes are going to burn and die, or the newborn baby is going to burn and die. You know for sure the zygotes have a future like ours. Would you say that it's more? Would you say that you would save the two zygotes over the newborn baby and let the newborn baby burn alive?
So are the zygotes like inside of someone or like?
Not currently, but we know for certain. We have certain knowledge they will become people in the future.
Okay.
They have a future like ours.
I don't know what I would do.
Would you save the newborn baby or the two zygotes?
I don't know. That's a hard situation.
Well, from your own view, it's two people or one person. So how could that be hard to you? Isn't two more than one?
Well, that's kind of like the train dilemma almost.
To a certain extent, sure.
Like if you're just thinking about it like logically, then probably I would have to say the two zygotes. But if I was in that situation in real life,
you wouldn't say the two zygotes.
It would be, yeah.
I think that's because personally you know that a zygote is not as valuable as a person. Now you could by the way, still see a difference in value and still say that you think it's valuable enough to not murder or whatever from your own view. Yeah. But the point that I'm at least making here is that you value a person with a subjective experience a lot more than you do value a zygote.
I can agree on what you're saying, but also the baby would be older, so it would have more past and
something being older makes it more valuable.
Okay, so that if I was in a burning building and there was like two 85-year-old people and there is one newborn baby, I should save the two people because two is more than one, but the baby would have more life, so it'd still be hard in that scenario. Does that make sense?
Yeah, none of those are a concern in the scenario I brought up though, because they're both young. But like seriously, like for example, if the difference between them is 1 month, we have a 7-month fetus versus or not 7-month fetus, 7-month newborn baby, or after being newborn, so 7th-month baby or an 8-month baby, old baby. Mm-hmm. Do they have a difference in value to you?
They shouldn't, no.
No, to me they don't. When there's that little of a distinction, there's no relevant difference. Okay, so let's extend that to a year. Is a 1-year-old baby more or less valuable than a 2-month-old baby?
No.
No, they're the same value, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so even if with a year, they're the same value. So what's the relevant difference between the zygote going towards fertilization, or not going towards going towards implantation, versus a fetus in the womb or an embryo? Or a newborn baby? What's the relevant difference?
There shouldn't be.
You think that they should be valued the same?
Even if they're not valued the same, I still think that abortion is wrong because there's going to be future life.
So why are they not valued the same is my question.
I don't know. It's hard to grasp two zygotes in a building.
It seems
and
like
then,
you're going to have to
alive.
appeal to my standard to say that they have less value.
So what's your standard?
That value becomes significantly more at subjective experience, like once a past or a present has been established alongside a future like ours.
But even without the significance of more importance after the life, I still think it has value before.
Yeah, you could say that, but like I would say it doesn't have enough value to say that like you should override the bodily autonomy of the pregnant individual. That's absurd, right?
Well, why do you get to choose that it doesn't have enough value? Or why does anyone?
It's each of our views. These are subjective perspectives.
Yeah.
Okay, like what? But like the question I can then test for you is: do you actually apply that in these scenarios?
Apply what?
Your views. Do you actually apply that a zygote with a future like ours is just as valuable as a newborn baby? No, you don't. So then what's the distinction in value? I can ask you that. And if you can't provide an example, maybe that means you got some thinking to do about your own perspective.
I just think that, which, I mean, you can think a different thing and that's fine, but I think there's enough significance that I don't agree with abortion. But I don't have evidence to back that up.
Okay. So maybe you need to look more into that before you use it as a reason to support Trump, maybe?
Sure, you could say that.
Okay. Is there any other reason you support Trump? Or is it just this?
In his first term, I did like more like his economic policies, but in like the current term, I don't. From what I'm seeing in the economy, I don't really appreciate it. And
like things are worse off?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you acknowledge now things are worse off due to Trump and his policies economically, are you willing to...
I don't know if Harris would have done better than he's been doing.
Oh, I know for a fact that Harris would have done better. She wouldn't have imposed a war with Iran, and she would not have done the tariffs.
Anything else that you think she would have done differently?
Those are two major things that would impact the level of inflation.
I agree. I do not support the war of Iran or pretty much any wars, which he ran on not getting into wars. So that was
he ran on no new wars. How did that go?
Yeah, not good.
Okay.
What's your why don't you like tariffs?
They're inflationary. They haven't brought back domestic manufacturing, the main thing they said they were going to do.
Okay.
We've actually seen a decline in real domestic manufacturing investment every single quarter of Trump's administration so far.
Well, yeah, I don't think he's doing great this term.
Okay.
And
what could he do that would get you to stop supporting him?
Well, I'm not going to support him in the future because he can't run again. So there's...
I understand, but he determines the next person in the Republican Party who's going to be the election, right? So, like, would you support the next candidate coming out of the Republicans, given that you know it's going to be MAGA?
Depends on the candidate, honestly. I would have to look at the...
J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio, would you support them?
I'd lean more towards Marco Rubio, but I don't know enough about either of them to say if I would vote for them yet.
Okay. But given that they've worked on the Trump administration, that doesn't make you look at them in more of a negative connotation?
I mean, it does. But also, to be a Republican right now, you kind of have to
be insane.
I wouldn't say that. I would say you have to show an outer support of Trump, which that's not right, but that doesn't.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, is that he's literally trying to stifle out any Republicans who are not for Trump by calling them rhinos. and literally primarying them and going against them and like trying to get them out, like Thomas Maskey, just for saying that he doesn't support the war with Iran and just for saying that he wants the Epstein files to be released. That's it. That's all Thomas Maskey did. He aligned with everything else the Trump administration wanted to do.
Well, what I'm saying is Marco Rubio, just because he's in the Trump administration doesn't mean he actually loves Trump and is a Trump supporter in his mind. He just has to, like, play that.
Repeat that? I'm confused what you're meaning.
Just because Marco Rubio on the outside supports Trump doesn't mean he agrees with everything Trump's doing.
But he's willing to uphold the administration from within.
No, it's true. I would have to see the Democrat candidate and see their
and like,
views
wait, can you tell me what he would disagree with?
Who would disagree with?
Yeah, what he would disagree with meaningfully.
I don't know enough
within the Trump administration. Like, he's a neocon. He loves the conflict around the world. He's not the no new wars type of guy.
Mm-hmm. What I was saying is I would rather vote for Marco Rubio than JD Vance.
Okay, but JD Vance is more no new wars.
I just don't like him.
You know what? That's valid. I don't like him either. But I'm just like, okay, can't you say the same thing for Lil Marco? You don't like him?
I dislike him less than JD Vance. That's what.
Okay, but do you like him more than the Democrats?
I don't know the Democrat candidate yet, so I couldn't say.
I can give you a few options here. So there's Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, AOC, and Gavin Newsom. Those are the top leading candidates in the polls.
Okay. I would say one thing I didn't like, and I could have misunderstood this, but whenever Trump was going against Harris, I remember that Biden was running all the way up until after the convention, and then she was the candidate, and they didn't even get to do a primary.
They did do a primary. So there was the Biden-Harris ticket. If Biden steps down, that means Harris steps up. Given that the Biden-Harris ticket won.
Okay, I didn't know that part.
Well, I'm just saying, that's what we would have expected. Plus, like, the party doesn't have to operate in the same way as the typical elections. The party can just determine whoever they want as their candidate. Like, that's just how it works. It doesn't have to have the same process. Now it's the process we'd want them to have that's necessary. Now, 80% of the Democratic Party was satisfied with her being the nominee, and we also have a very well understood process that if a president steps down, a vice president steps up.
Yeah. Okay.
And especially in that context, it made the most sense. That's why no one decided to run against her. So if you do care about democracy, you definitely wouldn't have supported Trump or the administration that defends Trump even after he incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol, pardoned the violent rioters who beat police officers, called them patriots, and actively has tried to undermine our democracy. Like, I think that those things would be things that we would consider to a higher extent than anything here with Kamala Harris's campaign.
I can agree with that.
And even so, like, all the other Democrats, like, do you think that they're preferable to JD Vance and Marco Rubio?
I would have to look more into them. I don't want to say anything about any of them because I honestly don't know exactly all of their views on the policies that I care about. So I wouldn't want to say I did or did not support them without having more information about them. Like AOC and Gavin Newsom.
Okay.
So I just know stuff like from what I've heard, but before I say anything on that, I would want to know like the truth.
Okay. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about or add?
I don't think so.
All
So
right.
thank you.
Appreciate you coming up. Hey, everybody. I can actually talk about this now because they just posted this 28 minutes ago. So I was on a Surrounded episode debating Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin, if you know who he is, I debated Dave Rubin. He was in the middle, and I totally dog-walked him. Absolutely dog-walked him. It's coming out here on the 31st. The first clip of this.
Economically, we're better under Joe Biden. At the end of his administration, absolutely. So can you give me an example of how?
Yeah, GDP growth is better off. Real median wage growth is better off. Inflation was better off at the end of his administration.
Oh.
Unemployment was better off at the end of his administration. We had the worst year of job growth in the past 4 years, just this last year under Trump's administration. Was the Rubin report? Did that also?
That's just a little bit of a sneak peek to it. It's actually brutal. Like, everyone came up to me after and was like, "You smoked him." Everyone came up to me after and was like, "Bro, you cooked like crazy." So I can't wait for that to come out. I can't wait to react to it. It'll be fun. I've been waiting for this one to come out because we filmed this a bit back. It will be up on the 31st, everyone. So here in about 3 days. I'm super excited for that one to come out. It's here on Sunday. It will be out. Alrighty, let's get on to the debate. Everybody, only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yeah, I kind of cooked there. I'm not gonna like. There was a multiple points where I was like, bro, I cooked him on that. I totally cooked him on that. It was kind of brutal. People are asking where it's gonna be on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube, on the Jubilee account on the 31st. But I'll post that clip that day. You what's a you?
No.
I'll post the clip that day. Actually, there's multiple clips I'll probably post from that episode because I do think I clipped him a few times. And I only got to talk to him once too. Like he didn't want to talk to me again. I never get picked. That's all I gotta say. I never get picked. You know what's a you? At the end. How old are you? Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18, everybody. Alrighty, everyone. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. We have another 45 minutes or so left on the stream, just letting everyone know until Dean hops on. Let me text Dean and actually see what time he's planning on hopping on. Because he did tell me yesterday around 11 o'clock my time. Alrighty, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Alrighty. Only do send a guest request again if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Alrighty, let's get this next person up here. Only do send a guest request again if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Okay. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter again above the age of 18, everyone. Why only 45 minutes longer? Because I'm separating my live stream up a little bit today. Dean is busy later on, and so am I. So we are just trying to schedule around each other. You know, how old are you?
Yeah, 28. Just sending support from Australia. Keep doing what you're doing, Parker.
Appreciate you very much. We are just looking for debates, everyone. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates.
Hey,
You know, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Election on today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump, but not because I really think very fondly of him.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Alrighty, why do you support him? Or why would you vote for him in that context?
So I guess the main reason I voted for Trump is because I was always grown up in a Republican household. And I never really, I guess the values and the promises that he made to me sounded much more appealing than what the Democratic Party offered. So, again, I don't think Trump is a good person, but the things that he ran through for his election, I find to be pretty important. And again, I'm hoping to have this be an educational conversation because I'm open to learning what you think the Democratic Party would offer better than what Trump promised he could have. So I guess I'll hear what you have to say.
Yeah, so what did he promise specifically that you like?
Well, one of the things that he promised was he said that he was going to cut taxes for the middle class, which is something that would have benefited me because I know he obviously promotes the idea of growing businesses. And I guess I was a little bit misled because I thought that he wouldn't really be cutting taxes like he's cutting taxes more so on the higher class more so than the middle class. Um, but I think that he promised to bring a lot of jobs to the economy, which is something obviously as a 21-year-old I'm kind of looking for that, and I thought that'd be a good reason to vote for him because I've been going into the workforce. I want the opportunity to.
Is there we can get a little closer to your mic? It's a little hard to hear you. Just letting you know.
Yeah, sorry. No, just as a 21-year-old, I think it's pretty important to have the opportunity to be a part of a strong economy and have the option to get a good job placement because he's creating more jobs.
Okay.
And that's something he promised, so I obviously would vote for that.
Okay, so since Trump's got in office, we've had the worst year of job growth in the past 4 years. We've seen unemployment increase, and we've also seen him increase taxes for working class people by imposing tariffs, which have led to price increases. We'd actually be below pre-pandemic levels of inflation right now if Donald Trump never imposed the tariffs in the first place, according to a Federal Reserve report. And then also, I would argue that Kamala Harris was going to maintain all the tax cuts applicable to income earners under $400,000 a year, applicable within the tax policy. And she would have extended even more tax cuts for working class people, such as the expansion to the child tax credit to $6,000 for the first year of a child's life, $3,600 through them being 5 years old, $3,000 through them being 18, a $25,000 tax credit for first-time homebuyers for new homes, a $2,000 cap on pharmaceuticals out of pocket. Right, things like that are actually meant to help the average American, plus a $50,000 tax deductible for small businesses in the first year of them starting out.
Yeah, so I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that obviously we're in a war right now, so it's kind of hard to keep the economy strong and maintain jobs when that's happening. Also, just in my personal opinion, I'm not like I'm not like the biggest fan of tariffs, but they do definitely help our economy and domestic production because if you're setting tariffs on imports coming into our country, that'll just encourage us to domestically produce more so than it would have if we didn't have tariffs.
So what if I
so
told you that
think
real domestic manufacturing investment declined every single quarter of Trump's administration so far?
What'd you say? Say it again,
What if I
sorry.
told you that every single quarter of Trump's administration so far, we've seen a decline in real domestic manufacturing investment?
And why do you think that is?
I think that's because of Trump's tariff policy that have imposed higher costs for domestic manufacturing in this country because domestic manufacturing relies on materials that come from countries around the world. So when you increase the cost of materials coming from countries around the world, you stifle and decrease the likelihood that they're going to manufacture here in this country.
Okay, and then I understand. I just have a question for you.
Go ahead.
What is it do you think the Democratic Party is offering that is superior to what the Republican Party is offering for just the United States and just the middle class in general? Like in my personal opinion, from what I've seen, obviously I'm 21, so I'm not extremely intelligent, but I have a lot to learn. I'm open to it. I just think that the Democratic Party in general is obviously they care a lot about the middle class and they care a lot about the lower middle class. But I think some of the things that they kind of promote and root for is holding our country back socially and making it a lot more divided than it has to be. And that's like one of the reasons why I kind of voted for Trump, because I didn't think that he was kind of allowing that to happen. But that's just my opinion.
Okay, so what do I think Dems are doing better? Well, I think that they are doing significantly better in terms of access to healthcare. They want to expand access to healthcare in this country, which will reduce healthcare costs. Countries around the world have developed universal healthcare programs where they spend nearly half as much per individual and have better average health outcomes. So that's something that they do significantly better. They want to invest in infrastructure and jobs programs such as the Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act to help build up domestic manufacturing of energy within this country, renewable energy, to help respond to the future in terms of energy needs to a greater extent and to be more energy independent. I think that they do a significantly better job when it comes to expanding access to childcare in this country, especially insofar as expanding the child tax credit, providing more of an opportunity economy, investing more in education, more government accountability and responsibility and transparency. I think the Biden administration actively put things within their policies to be more transparent. Now, one thing I think that they should have done better is explain that they're doing that to a greater extent. And that could have been an aspect of transparency that would have been important. But within the policies themselves, they are 100% significantly more transparent. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand your point. I guess where I'm kind of going with this, I don't really know what your guidelines are. Am I allowed to talk about something that's a little bit controversial?
Of course, you're allowed to talk about controversial things. It's a political debate live.
Okay, so I guess all right. I'm just I want to like understand. I just want to like see what the boundaries are. Just trying to be respectful.
It's
Um,
okay.
so one of the things that I think has gotten a little bit out of hand recently in the past few years is like I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. Um, I think that it's not really morally right or just like normal and like it shouldn't be like, socially acceptable for 10-year-olds to have the opportunity or like have the opportunity to completely change their gender and like um basically I think the whole transgender thing, look, I obviously it's totally up to you to do whatever you want to do, like it's obviously your body, it's your mind, whatever. It's not really affecting my life, but I think it becomes a problem when you have a man that is turning into a woman. Sure, okay. But then that man is also going into female restrooms and going into places that he should not be going into because he's a man and he has a sword down there. And I think that's a little bit invasive. Just on behalf of females, I feel like they wouldn't be comfortable with that. And I feel like it's being normalized. And I think that that's really backwards, in my personal opinion. Again, maybe that's me being woke, but I just think it's a little bit ridiculous. I don't know.
So women, just what I'm just gonna let you know. And one thing interesting here is that trans women are women. Trans women are not a threat to cis women. There's no basis for saying that trans women are. The argument that people typically bring up is that cis men will portray themselves as being trans women in order to be able to go into women's spaces to be able to take advantage of them. But that will happen to a greater extent if you force trans men who are biologically female to go into the women's restroom who are masculine presenting, because then cis men can portray themselves as trans men to go into those areas, and there's nothing you can do to prevent them from doing so. What, are you going to have genitalia inspections at the beginning or at the front of every single restroom in America? That's not how it works. And then also, you voted for a guy that bragged about walking into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent, where two 18-year-olds came out and said there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms. So if you care about protecting women, you probably shouldn't vote for an adjudicated rapist that literally did that and admitted to it.
Okay, I didn't know any of that, first of all.
Okay.
But I guess it's a good point.
I can play the clip for you if you'd like to hear, actually.
Oh, dude, I'm not denying it. Like I believe.
Oh,
that.
I'm not saying you were denying. I'm just saying if you haven't heard it before, it's probably an important thing for you to hear.
Sure, all right, play it.
That wasn't like as an own. That was literally just as like a here. Let me so that you hear this information because I think it's important.
Well, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously wrong. that's not okay. But like I have a question. Are you really disagreeing that it's not okay for males, like born males, to be going into the restrooms of females? Yeah, exactly. Trump did that too. But imagine your daughter was in a restroom and this grown man walked in claiming that he was a female. Wouldn't you feel really uncomfortable on behalf of your daughter? I would.
I would say that if a trans woman is going to the women's restroom, I am not scared about that at all. Genuinely not.
Really?
Yeah. Not scared about it at all. Because trans people are significantly less likely to harm your kid than the typical cis man. They're significantly less likely to harm your kid than Donald Trump. They're significantly less likely to harm your kid than the people who are actually out there to harm your kid. Plus, if we go to countries around the world, they have gender-neutral restrooms, okay? And then in those situations, you can then be with your kid and ensure that they're safe. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I think it's totally reasonable for like a parent to go into the bathroom with their child. Like that happens all the time. Like that's like most parents do that.
Yeah, so there are family restrooms, there are gender neutral restrooms. There's no issue with that, right?
No.
So you would have no issue with your kid going into a bathroom with a member of the opposite sex.
I think it's different when you have an individual going in and they're by themselves relative to a father going in with his daughter. I think there's a big discrepancy there.
Okay, so maybe you're arguing that it's preferable that there are gender-neutral restrooms because a father can't go in with his daughter when it's a women's restroom. And couldn't there be women in there that specifically could also harm your daughter, or for the men's restroom, right? Specifically, if a mother can't go into the boys' restroom with her young boy, her young boy could get attacked in the boys' restroom, right?
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. But I don't really think bathrooms are a place where you should be gender swapping.
Okay.
And why?
So, okay, so you mean gender neutral bathrooms? You don't think those should exist?
Well, let me give you a different example. Say you were a girl that became transgender and turned into a man, and you went into a male bathroom. Isn't that also a place where it's like kind of dangerous and weird and creepy?
That's their choice. They're a trans man. They can go into the men's restroom. They should be able to go into the men's restroom. And I would argue it's probably the safest for them to go into the men's restroom in that context. Why? Because that's the way that they present. And if they go into the context of the women's restroom, they might be assaulted. Like literally because they're masculine presenting.
Okay. Well, then I have a question just on top of this, but it's okay. What are your thoughts on children having the opportunity to completely change their gender?
What
do you think should that even?
When you say completely, you mean socially transition?
As in change their pronouns and their presentation and their body.
No problem. Wait, what about their body? Are you saying like no surgeries for children?
No, surgeries. Like children going through surgeries. Don't you think that's wrong?
Yes. I mean, I don't agree with those surgeries.
So we agree.
Yeah, I don't agree with those surgeries, but I agree that they should have access to puberty blockers. They should have access to hormones through the context of a doctor and their parents. And it also, if they're doing social transitioning and pronouns and stuff, who gives a shit? Why do you care? Let them be themselves. Seriously, why the fuck do you want to superimpose? They can't have the name they want. Like what?
No, dude, I don't really care that much about it. I'm just like, it's not like preventing me from sleeping at night. I'm just saying it's kind of becoming normalized, and there could be issues evolving that.
Okay, so like, what about my position is so crazy that you're willing to vote for a guy like Donald Trump?
Again, this is not the reason I voted for Donald Trump. It's really because I'm just I was growing up. I already told you earlier. I was growing up in a Republican family, and I never really understood the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans, and the promises that I was given obviously seemed to be a lot more beneficial for me and my family. So, with that being said, the only person that was really running that had the chance of winning was Trump. So I guess if you could give me a couple reasons as to how Democratic Party benefits the middle class and is a little bit more progressive, not so much socially, because that's something that I kind of disagree with, like the thing that I mentioned 5 minutes ago. But just overall, like as a country, how are they going to be giving me a better opportunity as a 21-year-old? I just want to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah, they want to expand the access to the child tax credit so that when you have children in the future, or you specifically, you're going to have more money in your pocket to be able to take care of those kids. They want to expand access to healthcare, which everyone needs, including specifically you, your entire family, everyone like that. They're going to increase access to housing by expanding a child tax or housing tax credit, which, by the way, might not be there by the time you are going to be old enough to, or actually, maybe if the Democrats get in office next, maybe we'll be able to eclipse when you're getting a house, but it would make it easier for you to buy a house if you had a tax credit specifically to be able to do so. Their administrations are better for GDP growth, wage growth, and employment. So, like, you would just have significantly better opportunities.
Okay, and then what about when it comes to college prices and tuition being let off a little bit? From my understanding, the Republican Party was the party that was able to give like tuition reliefs.
What about tuition? Like, oh, you want tuition? You mean we couldn't get tuition relief? Are you saying with the student loans?
No, I know. There was a lot of talk
of student loan
about
debt
the
relief?
idea of student loan relief. Exactly.
Yeah, that was prevented by the Supreme Court.
And why? Which party was preventing that?
Biden was trying to do that.
And the Republicans were denying it?
Well, Republicans do oppose that. He tried to do it through some sort of executive policy, which was prevented because he couldn't get it through Congress.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah,
that's Democrats support it. Republicans disagree with it.
Okay. And then I know you have this debate a lot about like immigration into the country, or like undocumented immigrants coming into the country. I guess I just don't entirely understand why you think that undocumented immigrants end up benefiting the U.S. economy? I know the whole argument. I know both sides. Like, one side saying, yes, of course, these undocumented immigrants come to the country. They're not taking the ideal jobs that most other Americans want, and they're also adding jobs because more GDP, more people, more employment opportunities.
An increase in
But just
productivity for other
because,
jobs, yeah.
yeah, but I think that's also. So, my bad, my dog's freaking out. I guess I just don't fully understand why there needs to be undocumented immigrants coming into the country for our economy to be thriving. You know.
Well, no, I'm not saying that there needs to be undocumented immigrants in the economy for our economy to be thriving. I'm just saying our economy does better with undocumented immigrants and documented immigrants. I would prefer that they're documented and given a legal pathway to citizenship where they don't have to leave the country if they haven't committed a violent or serious crime, because I want them to be treated better. I think them being in the country undocumented is worse for them, not worse for our society. We technically do benefit. Now, there are some impacts that could be negative in terms of wages, specifically because they take below market wages. But again, like you said, they are taking typically different wages than what you would see, or different jobs than what you would see typically for a citizen, because of the different types of jobs that are open to individuals that are making below market wages, are in different conditions, or there's not sort of government oversight, and they can make below minimum wage. So, like, there are different types of jobs that have openings that inevitably the fulfillment of those jobs do technically make other jobs more productive and can increase employment in other sectors, or even within the similar sectors for U.S. citizens as well. So there are sort of employment effects there, but obviously the best impact is if they're given a legal pathway to citizenship.
Yeah, but do you think the Republican Party is not really enabling them to have that opportunity to get legal?
Yeah.
Why do you think that? What has Trump done that's blockaded them from coming into the country legally?
Well, I'm just saying that they haven't quickly made the legal process any quicker. They haven't fought to make it quicker. Most Democrats agree with making it quicker. And these artificial limits in the first place are imposed by Republicans originally, and they're upheld specifically because they disagree with not only just undocumented immigration, but also legal immigration. That's why Trump has gone after TPS, temporary protected status, which is a legal process in the country. He's gone after people that are going towards their immigration court dates. He's gone after individuals specifically that are under legal permanent residency and tried to remove them from the country because they engaged in speech that he didn't like, such as pro-Palestinian advocacy. So those are the things I would say, like, I would point to.
You know, I get your point. I guess I just don't really understand, like, the downside of it, at least. You know?
The downside of what?
Like, allowing that to happen.
Allowing for them to take away for the legal status for all these individuals and go after individuals trying to go through the legal process. Because they're not just attacking the illegal process, they're attacking the legal process as well. He's also talked about denaturalizing U.S. U.S. citizens, are people who immigrated to our country and were naturalized.
I guess my point is, I didn't really understand the, like, do you think that there's better spots to be putting our resources into, like, as far as America goes, rather than promoting the pathway to citizenship in the U.S.? I feel like there's other focuses that the U.S. needs to worry about to, like, help
I think it
Americans.
helps us with those other things, because I think that immigration reduces our deficit. According to the Cato Institute, over the past 30 years, the deficit has been reduced by $14.5 trillion because of immigrants.
Yeah, but and what do you think would happen if we didn't allow undocumented immigrants into the country?
We already don't allow them. We already don't allow them. There already are processes to prevent them from coming to the country.
Exactly, and what would happen if no more immigrants came into the country? Would that be a bad thing for the U.S.?
If no more immigrants came? Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yes. How's that bad?
Because our fertility rates have been below replacement rates since the 70s, basically, and we're going to have a higher percentage of our population that's older, retiring on Social Security and Medicare for longer periods of time because of increasing life expectancy. So we need a lot more younger people that are paying into the systems to be able to afford the systems that exist in terms of social services at the same level and maintain the exact same systems that exist. Otherwise, they won't have the same type of funding that's needed.
And why do you think it is that our fertility rate has been lower than it has been over the last 30 years? What's the reason for that?
Plenty of reasons. People, as they economically get better off, they choose to have less children. It is also the case that birth control has reduced unwanted pregnancies. There is more access to abortion so that you can choose when you want to have families. There is a lack of affordability in certain contexts for buying houses and for healthcare. So like I think that those things are, and also childcare. The costs are extremely expensive. I think those things are the main aspects.
Exactly. So don't you think it'd be more beneficial if we focused on things that would um, influence like economic growth rather than focusing on things that we don't really need to be spending our money on as a country? Like the government should be prioritizing raising up the lower middle class or the middle class in
That's what
general.
Democrats are doing. You understand Donald Trump has undermined economic growth, undermined wage growth. He's undermined job growth. He's undermined real domestic manufacturing investment. All those things have become worse off since Trump got in office. He's
I
prioritized the
understand.
rich and the wealthy and the well connected over the typical American.
Can you explain why you think that like Trump is just a terrorist and trying to like ruin the U.S. economy? I guess I just don't understand like why a lot of people think that his primary goal is just to tear down the middle class and lower middle class, which makes up like 90% of our country, by the way. And obviously, I
I can tell
understand.
you why. Because most of the tax cuts in the Big Beautiful Bill and the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act go to the rich and wealthy. It cuts people off their access to health insurance, food stamps, and over 420,000 kids off their access to free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month. Adds $3.4 trillion to the debt. And what you also have to consider is that the tariffs that he's imposing disproportionately negatively impact lower and middle income individuals. He said the money is going to come from foreign countries. He lied to you. That was a complete lie. Most of the money comes from consumers. So and people who are lower and middle income, they spend a greater proportion of their income on consumer goods because of cost of living. So if you increase the cost of living and consumer goods, that's going to disproportionately come from lower and middle income individuals. So really what it's doing is shifting the burden of taxation from those that are disproportionately higher income to those that are, or I mean from those that are just from those that are disproportionately higher income to those that are disproportionately lower income. And that's worse off for our society, and that doesn't lead for more social mobility, more growth. That doesn't help out people in need. That makes it worse off and makes it less affordable for those individuals.
Mhm. So you said that a lot of the taxes goes from like it's supposed to be taxed in the rich more so than it's supposed to be the middle class, which I agree with. I think if you're making a lot more money than someone who is making, say, 50 grand a year, 40 grand a year, you shouldn't be taxed the same amount that that billionaire is, obviously. But what amount are you proposing that they tax this 1%, 2% of the U.S. economy? Like that top upper middle class, what do you think is a fair percentage that would enable both parties to have like equality in a way? Because I
Well,
don't think it's fair. Like I don't think you should just be taxing the top 1% like 50%, because and then like the lower middle class, like whatever. No, but I 1,000,000% agree. You should be taxing the rich more so than you are the lower middle class. But I just don't think the powerful people in the country will stand for that. Like Trump, for example, is not going to want to
of course they
be
won't stand for
taxed.
it because they're going to have to pay more into the system. So here's my position.
Exactly.
Here's my
But my
position.
point is,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, you go. I'm trying to be respectful. Yeah.
Yeah. So my position is that there should be a bracket that continually keeps going up,
Mhm.
depending on the level of income. Specifically, I think that when you get into the millions of dollars per year, I think that paying upwards to 50% makes sense. I think when you get into the tens of billions, into the hundreds of millions and billions, you should be paying upwards of 70% on that money. I do think that that's totally reasonable when we're talking about the highest levels of net worth individuals, right? It doesn't impact their quality of life, like practically at all. But for the lower levels of income of individuals, right, I want them to be taxed significantly less. I want there to be an actual progressive structure to it. So people who are making significantly less, I think they should be less than our current system right now.
And just say the roles reversed, right? Um, I look, I am very, very well not off. Like I'm not rich by any means at all. I'm like probably the same class as everyone else in this live, I'm assuming. And I can promise you that. But if you say you were a billionaire, would you feel comfortable being taxed 99% of your income? Like would you
Renee, for
seriously
standard,
feel comfortable with that?
I wouldn't
You know what I
become
mean?
a billionaire Personally, myself, I would never become a billionaire.
You wouldn't become a billionaire?
I would give away my money so that I never became a billionaire. Yes. Purse the Galaxy. There's no reason that I would ever want to be a billionaire.
Okay, but my point is like, no, I mean, I don't think anyone needs to be a billionaire, but there are many billionaires in the world, and I think a lot of
I have
the
no
time,
desire to be a billionaire. At that point, you have way more money than you could ever need in your life.
I agree. Yeah, that's not crazy to say.
But like I just said, I'm saying 70%. I'm saying 70% when you're talking about tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't
I
think
agree.
that's too much. I don't. I really don't. I think that's not crazy. And I think that if that can lead to us being able to afford systems that people need in our society to a greater extent, well, then that is the duty of those very rich individuals to give back to our society.
Yeah, no, I think that's understandable. I just know that from what I see in our world, a lot of these billionaires and multimillionaires and trillionaires, whatever, a lot of them low key just aren't good people. And I think that if you try and tax them at a,
That's why we have to force them. That's literally why we have to force them.
but that I agree, but like I think that there may even be like some backlash with these really, really wealthy people that are not going to stand for that.
Good. Cope.
Yeah,
We're gonna
dude,
fucking
dude.
tax you. Cope.
Dude, I get it.
They can
I
throw a
actually
temper.
agree with you.
They can throw a temper tantrum all they want. This is called adulting. This is called we live in a society where we need things to provide for people's needs. If they want to sit there and complain because they are going to lose a little bit of money, well, maybe they should be complaining about the fact that the workers that they're paying probably can't afford basic needs. Maybe they should be putting that money into them. So instead of getting taxed so much, they can stop complaining about the tax. They can reduce their taxable income by giving money to their employees, so that they're not living by poverty wages and that they're having the necessities that they need. You know, maybe that would be an important thing.
Yeah, no, I get it. And then I have a question for you. This is just it's kind of like a morality question. I know I'm slandering you with questions, but this is kind of how
It's okay.
debate goes. So, say you were in the lower middle class, right, or lower class. You weren't doing too well, and you went into this big corporation like Wawa, for example, and you saw that they had a frozen chicken Caesar wrap, and you wanted that shit. So you walked up to it and you stole that wrap and you walked out. Do you think that's fine, or do you think that should not be allowed? Because it's a big corporation.
I think
There's
that's
so much money.
Well, I mean, I think that's wrong still.
You think it's wrong?
Yes.
And do you understand how often that happens?
Do you want to know why? Because I think that
Well,
there
I
should be
know why.
systems and structures set up in place so everyone has food that they need. There's no necessity.
Yeah, and what are you proposing that? Like, what do you think that you could, or the next president can do that's a Democrat, to not have all these people be in such dire need of food and money and support that they have to resort to crime and stealing?
How about this?
Because
Can I suppose a hypothetical for you?
Yeah, I like hypotheticals.
Let's say that there's an airplane crash, and there's like a group of people that survive on this island, and there's one person that gains control and access to all water pathways on the island. That means in order to be able to get water, you have to go through him. Would he be justified in not giving water to everyone, right? Or actually, sorry, wrong question. Would it be justified that if he didn't give water to anyone but himself, right, into like a few people, to steal some of the water that you need to survive? Would that be justified?
No.
It would be unjustified to steal
Wait,
some of the
wait.
water just that you need to survive.
I don't think you should be stealing water from people that also need the water.
Wait, but they have plenty of abundant levels of water, more than they would ever be able to use themselves.
Oh, then yeah, then I think that is unjustified.
Oh, okay. You think it's unjustified, or you think it is justified?
It's justified. It's justified. It's justified.
It is justified.
Sorry, I was getting
So,
confused.
like, that's
Okay.
the kind of conditions that we would say exist in society, is that we have enough resources to take care of everyone, but in some circumstances where people are prevented it can make sense specifically to go to those that have such a level of abundance that they would never be able to use it all, ever, at any point in time, right? Specifically just to fulfill their necessities. Not to get extra stuff because they need it or because they want it, but to get their necessities. That would make sense. That's why we want a society where we have the basic necessities for everyone that are established so that people don't have to do that. Because realistically, when it breaks down to those conditions, yeah, it does sound justified. for someone to get their necessities off of someone that has such an abundance that's preventing you from getting access to it, where everyone could have access to it regardless, like on the island. Like everyone would have enough water that they need on the island if they specifically didn't control all the water ports and prevent people from having the water. They're going to have such an abundant level of water, they will never ever be able to use it all. In that circumstance, it seems immoral for them to be preventing other people from getting it because they really have no right to it to a greater extent, right?
Yeah, I understand. I just think that it's going to be very difficult for any Democratic Party or Republican Party to just, like, any government, like, as a government, I don't really know how able they are to just give everyone food and give everyone water and provide everyone with these resources that they need. I think what the government can do is ensure that a lot of people are given the opportunity to work and a lot of people are given shelter, but I don't think food and water and like other resources the government can just hand out because the government's in a lot of debt. Aren't we in like $37 trillion of debt?
Yeah, and Trump is
growing
responsible
every
for
year?
27.7% of that.
In what, his last 2 years?
Over the last years that he's been president, yeah. He's responsible for over 1/4 of that debt.
And what is most of that money going to?
War, defense, budget.
So war and
then
defense
obviously
budget?
there's Social Security, Medicare. There was COVID spending during the pandemic.
That's inevitable.
Yeah, like some of those things are, but most of the spending specifically under Trump's was the tax cuts for the rich, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't support that, obviously. But I guess my point is like I also don't think it's a horrible idea to be funding the military and funding police and funding the people that protect our
Wait, so
country.
we can
I
still
think
have the
it's
largest. Let me explain. We can have the largest military budget in the world by over $100 billion a year and cut our military budget in half. Trump wants to increase our military budget to $1.5 trillion a year. It's currently $1 trillion, more than the next 14 nations combined, most of them being our allies. Who the fuck are we defending against with this money? We're defending the billionaires. We're defending the defense contractors. We're defending the oil companies. That's what we're defending. We're not defending us here at home. We're not defending our needs. Why do we want to put our money into defending the interests of those particular companies, those large corporations, over the interests of people in terms of access to healthcare, childcare, housing affordability, education, and basic necessities? It's fucking insane to me that people's priorities are to provide the money for those large companies in terms of oil companies, defense contractors, but not for the average American in terms of basic necessities. It's crazy to me. We'll spend so much money on war. Hell, we basically are in the level of debt that we are after a fucking world war, after the past 30 years of doing war after war after war, conflict after conflict after conflict, over and over and over again, right? We're literally at that same level of debt. And we didn't put that into Americans' access to healthcare or childcare or housing affordability or even fucking retirement. We didn't put it into that. We mostly put it into fucking war, conflict that didn't even benefit us, that didn't even benefit the world, that led to worse off conditions around the world, not even better. Like, that ROI was horrible. We are selling away our future every fucking second that we do that.
Yeah,
And, you know,
no,
who's fucking perpetuating it even more? Trump.
Yeah, so I guess let me rephrase this. I don't think we should be adding more money to the military funding. I don't think it's a bad idea to fund the military like pretty heavily because I think there's going to be a time in the near future, hopefully not, but I think there will be a time in the future where other countries are going to start lashing out at the U.S. and there's going to be some type of war, which I obviously don't want, but I think it's going to be good to have us prepared for it. And then I guess as far as like funding the police, I think that there's really no harm in making sure that our police forces, one, properly trained, they two have like the proper.
Trump has got rid of training for ICE, right? By a lot. It went from over 150 days to 47 days. How do you feel about that?
150 to what? 47?
Over 150 to 47 days of training.
Well, is it more efficient training?
Nope.
What has he changed about it? Just the time that he's lying there. Okay,
And
well,
they have to they have less time to cover stuff.
But do you think that's because our crime is rising in the U.S. that he needs to get all these police officers like out there and ready?
This is dumb. I thought you just said you want more training.
No, I do want more training.
So then, why do you want
I'm
less?
just- I'm trying
Why
to
do you support
justify
him
why-
even though he
why
wants
Trump
less
is doing
training? And by the way,
No,
he
I
picked
don't.
47 because of the number 47, because that's when he's president. Like, literally, that's how fucking cringe this guy is. I'm
No,
serious.
that's no. I mean, I think that's pretty crazy. I'm
Yeah,
not denying
genuinely,
that.
like let's think about this for a second. He is not prioritizing safety. He is not prioritizing people being treated better. The guy's an adjudicated rapist that has literally prevented people from being held accountable in the Epstein files. He hasn't released all of them, even though he's legally obligated to do so. He actively tried to prevent the release of the files, calling Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor simply for wanting the release of the files.
Yeah, I bet
He
his
said that,
favorite
they
age
were a
is
hoax and said
27.
that anyone who wants their release never supported him in the first place.
Yeah, no, I think that's obviously crazy. I mean, I think he's yes, an egotist and a narcissist, and I think he makes a lot of decisions based off his own pride and his own needs. But then again, that's obviously I don't support that. But I just think that it's not a bad idea to like. Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you support and like respect police officers generally? Not all of them, but most of them.
Yes, I would say that I respect most police officers. I would say that there are a lot of police officers, though, that are obviously have led to disenfranchisement of people, and there's a significant disparity in terms of how the outcomes can impact people, and that's why there needs to be more regulations, more training. There needs to be better conditions for accountability for these officers and agencies. There needs to be less things that limit their accountability. But yes, in a general sense, I would.
Yeah. So I guess the only thing that I kind of have a problem with, I feel like a lot of people just in the U.S. don't really respect police officers. Look, like obviously there's a few bad apples that have done some pretty bad things, and
It can't just be said as a few. It's a lot more than just a few. There are many bad apples, right? That use their position of power to disenfranchise people, and inevitably that makes the rest of police officers look even worse. But yes, there is a need for police within the context of our system. That's obvious. Okay?
Correct.
But you know who's undermined that? Donald Trump. He's actively pardoned people who assaulted police officers on January 6th and called them patriots.
yeah, I mean you're making it hard for me to support him. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I feel like every day that I wake up, I hear about a new thing that he's done, and it kind of shocks me that like I voted for this guy, which is kind of brutal. I think at the end of the day though, like obviously he's a bad person and he's done terrible things, but he still is our president. So I think like you still have to support the guy that's running our country because we kind of need him to do well. And I think that he obviously knows a lot of people don't like him anymore, which I could totally understand. I don't blame him. I'm kind of getting that
We
way
do not
myself.
need to
but-
defend him or support him. We want better than him. We realize that he's undermining our country and our democracy and our rule of law. We know how he's going to act. Obviously, we want the best for our country, but the best for our country is that he's not our president.
Yes, I agree. But we currently have him for 2 more years, so I think that instead of like finding a way to I don't think we should be like coping with the fact that he's our president, but just like maybe trying to pray that he does better or encourage our government to provide us with better resources and maybe change his mind on a lot of decisions that he's making. Because I think he needs to have like a counselor or something, or like someone watching over him and like altering some of the decisions that he makes. Because truly, I think he needs to be
needs
hearing
what he thought the Joe Biden treatment was.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're
Isn't that ironic? Like, so would you call for impeachment at this point?
Well, I think that he is close to clinically insane.
So should
but
we 86-47? Which means impeach, by the way.
47?
That means impeach the
I
president.
don't know what that means. 86 means impeach and 47 is
Yeah,
number of
86
president.
is literally like a restaurant term for like get it out or off the menu.
I mean, I think he's hard to get off the menu. He's pretty big to move, but I don't know. I just
That was
I
a
think
diabolical statement. Diabolical statement.
I just think it's at the current position that we're in right now, he has 2 terms left, and obviously he is a terrorist, but I think that we have to maybe the people
You
need to
agree Trump is a terrorist and you still support him?
I mean, obviously throughout this conversation, I'm leaning a little bit more towards your views and and your points. Yes.
It should just be leaning. It should be like if you think he's a terrorist, shouldn't it be that you're on our side at this point, right? You're not
I
leaning
agree.
towards the terrorist, right?
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the terrorist, the orange terrorist, but I think that I think that the American people need to do a better job of like speaking up and like making him understand that we don't like him, not because of his looks or his mannerisms or his voice or anything like that, but rather just his actions. I think that it's important for us as the American people to, I guess, be a little more vocal about what's going on in our country, because I think a lot of people that are high up in power and have a lot of money don't fully understand what's going on, and they kind of disregard it because they have their own personal desires and their own personal wants, and they want money and they want more power. And I think that currently under Trump's presidency, they're able to get all that. So I guess that's my 2 cents. I just think that he is still our president, unfortunately. But you can't just like hate the president and like want to scream like "Death to America" because the guy's a psychopath. Like I think we have to figure out a way to just get past the next 2 years and try and be as supportive as possible in a way. Not supportive, but like understanding that he is a lunatic, but also trying to keep everyone in check and like together, unified. Is that what I said?
I think what you mean is you want to inspire more unification through getting Trump out of office. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay, like that's the most charitable way I could try to take what you're saying. So if you want to inspire in unity, then you would want someone on the Democratic side, right? Because there's no one on the Republican side that is outside of the context of MAGA.
Yeah,
and if MAGA is that divisive ideology, it seems like you need to go away from MAGA and then let the Republican Party to redefine itself.
Thanks for the hand arts, by the way. Yeah, I think that you're definitely right. I'm definitely leaning a lot more Democratic, like every day, and I think it's just hard for me to, like, yes, I understand that the Democratic Party is providing our country and the lower middle class a lot more opportunities, and Trump's very greedy and cares about himself. But I think it's just hard to not support him just because he is the president still, you know? You know what I mean? Like it's hard to just make a switch based, like, yes, I understand that he's.
Would you say the same thing if you were living in Russia? Would you say that like you feel a need to support Putin because he's the president?
No, I think Putin's a little bit less psychotic than Trump, which is crazy because Trump's also a psychopath.
Wait, so you would support Putin?
No, I would not support Putin. No,
okay, so if you wouldn't support Putin, then you should be able to say that you don't support Trump, right? Like, and it should be easier for you, right? Given that, like, obviously, like, you don't need to support someone because they're president.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Like, did you support Biden?
Yeah, I liked Biden. He was cool.
Okay, all right. Well, I think we got you to a point where you're pretty much on our side. And
no,
I just recommend to keep watching these streams, and maybe I'll be able to convince you more on my views.
No, I think that I'm definitely leaning a lot more Democratic than I was originally, and I think that come the next term election, I'm definitely going to be voting Democratic.
It's great to hear.
I think that I understand the different pros and cons, and I guess I was a little bit misled originally from what Trump promised, and growing up in a Republican family, I thought that it was going to be benefiting me a lot more than the Democratic Party would have, but I'm kind of realizing that he's not really providing us with many resources to help ourselves out or help each other out. And I kind of realized that he's kind of in it for himself, which kind of sucks. And a lot of the really wealthy people in power are also in it for themselves. But then again, like, we need to get to a point where we could get the right people in power, and I think we'll be able to. So I appreciate you coming on, and thank you for all the help and the education.
Of course. Have a great day. Awesome. Have a great day. Really appreciate that. Love those conversations. Really happy with how that ended. I have a few people to thank. I got to catch up, everyone. I'm a bit behind. Taylor, thank you so much for the appreciate the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it is a really interesting and confusing thing to me. I never really understood that either. It's always just people going in and then leaving. Like it's like they're just trying to do their business, you know. That's something that definitely has. I felt like is a newer thing. As well as Justina, thank you so much for the $50 for just watch the surrounded clip, and the utter defeat on his face was delicious. Could not wait for more. Yeah, it's so funny. Oh my gosh, seeing his face crumble in real time when I was asking my questions was the best part, and like people's responses and reaction. Mary, thank you so much for the $70 on PayPal. Thank you so much. They said you're awesome. Thank you so much, Mary. I really appreciate the $70. That is seriously so kind of you. Thank you so much for the $70 on PayPal. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Seriously, that is so kind. A girl has no name. Thank you so much for the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Exactly. That is exactly it. And I think they're totally on our side now. So that's great to hear. That's absolutely amazing to hear. We love hearing that. That's exactly why it's really important to do this. Kalina, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. He did address that. That's great to hear as well. Angela, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Seriously though, they said a billionaire would have to spend $500,000 every year since Jesus died to spend all of their money. $500,000 spent for 2,000 years, and that's just $1 billion. Yeah, that's insane, isn't it? Isn't that insane? PNW, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Hugo, thank you so much for the $2. Yasmin, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Mr. Flinch, thank you so much for the $15. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Dila, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Give some W's for them in the comment section. Absolutely. That's really important. Shelly, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I didn't see that. I'll have to go check. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Shelly. Thank you. And Mr. Flinch, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, that's absolutely insane, isn't it? And then Yvonne, oh my god, thank you so much for the $100 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Yvonne. It's always good to see you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. They said I took the day off today and couldn't think of a better way to spend it than watching you. Tomorrow marks 1 year of my dad's passing. I'm feeling pretty down, but you remind me the world is still okay. Brings hope. Love you, Parker. I'm so sorry to hear that, Yvonne. That's really, really hard to deal with. Just know that you always have community here, and I really appreciate you very much, Yvonne. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Because W's for Yvonne in the comment section right now. I really appreciate you so much, Yvonne. I really appreciate it. I'll be back on, everybody. Dean's hopping on right now. So I was going to hop off, send everyone over to Dean while he's on. And I am going to be back on, actually, at 3 o'clock my time, around 3 o'clock. Maybe 3:30 at the latest, until around 6 o'clock. So I'll have another 2.5 hours at least on the stream, which is also great. So everyone can join me back then. Also, there's a video, everyone, I posted. I posted on my YouTube of me debating someone on like Omegle and whatnot, where you can like see me debate them in person. They were pretty unhinged, and it was a pretty crazy debate. If you want to go check that out as well, and if you like the content where you can like see the person I'm debating as well, that's also like a good thing to check out. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming through. If you're on YouTube, I'd really appreciate if you hit that thumbs up before you leave. I'm gonna send everyone over to Dean's live right now. Everyone, if he is live, it seems like he's not live quite yet, so maybe I'll answer questions until he's live. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm not going to say bye yet. I didn't realize he's not live yet. Okay, but I'll send everyone over when you hop on. Not leaving yet, everyone. Not leaving yet. But yeah, I'll have to post my videos, everyone, and then I'll be back on again at like 3:30 probably, because Dean will probably go from 11:30 to 3:30. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me right now until Dean hops on. I think he's going to hop on here in a second. I'm assuming so. So do just give it a second, everyone. Let me click on his account just to see in case. Yeah, he isn't on yet. So you can ask me any questions. Venmo, PayPal, YouTube Super Chat. Those are the best places to ask me. Is Dean in the new Jubilee vid? No, he's not. There is another friend in it, though. For that mustache. There is another friend in it. That I don't think you guys have seen on like a Jubilee in that type of format before. Janessa, think of the membership subscription. Dean is on? Is he on? Okay, all right, everyone. We'll send everyone over to Dean if he's on right now. It looks like he is. Alrighty, everyone, go over to Dean Withers, spam Parker Raid, spam Love and Parker. I love y'all so much. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic day, everyone. I'll be back literally at around 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at the latest, earliest 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And maybe I'll join Dean for a little bit as well. All right, I love y'all so much.